Here with reaction, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the new lieutenant governor of the great state of Florida, my free state of Florida, Jay Collins. Congratulations, Jay. You're following the footsteps of many great people.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that very much. I'm excited to do this.
All right. Let me put up Governor DeSantis, if you don't mind, and then I want to know where you're headed with this, and I'll scroll this. But if you look at the GOP vote in deep blue states, for example, you know, Republicans get 41.9% of the House vote. They have 0 seats. Illinois, 43.5, 17.6 seats. California, nearly 38.3, 17 seats. Massachusetts, 36% of the vote, 0 seats. New Jersey, and I'll keep scrolling. And, you know, the gerrymandering art, if you will, or scam, if Democrats want to use their terms, was mastered by them. And Republicans have taken it for far too long without fighting back. Now they're just playing the game the Democrats have been playing. What would you do in Florida?
Well, Obama and Holder gerrymandered brutally across the country in this decade's census. They actually even got into Florida, and I had to veto the legislature's map, and I ended up proposing one which was a much fairer map and much better. California is gerrymandered. They have a commission, but that's a ruse. They have Democrats on the commission, liberal independents, and liberal Republicans. And so their map now is gerrymandered, and Gavin wants to do it even more. Florida, we got shortchanged in the census. We're hoping that they're going to be able to do that to give us that extra seat that we should have had. That would obviously force us to have to redistrict. And so we're working with the Commerce Department to see how that's going to shake out. If that doesn't happen, we still have a basis to redistrict in Florida. There's some racial gerrymandering that's still lingering that we have to correct per a recent Florida Supreme Court decision. And, Sean, you know, because you're part of this, Florida in 2020 versus Florida in 2025, you're talking about a big change. So our districts are not properly apportioned. And if we were to do new districts, it would be much fairer representation for the people of Florida.
If you had to put a number on it, how many seats do you think Republicans might pick up if, in fact, there was fair redistricting?
I don't know, because I think Florida, our Constitution limits, you can't draw snake districts in Florida. They got to be normal shape, compact districts, which I think is great. But I will tell you this. When I got elected governor in 2018, there were 300,000 more registered Democrats than Republicans. Today, there are 1.3 million more registered Republicans than Democrats. The state has grown by many millions of people. And so if you look at this, and I would say you pointed out how there's 0 Republicans in those blue states, but I would say that that doesn't even do justice, because if you look at a state like Florida, we're a red state with a few blue dots, right? And so if you do fair maps, Republicans are going to do much better. Democrats have to take the cities and break them up and put those districts into more red areas so that they're able to be competitive. And that's what they did in Illinois. They take all these voters in Chicago and they draw districts stretching out all across the state. So Florida has gone very red during my tenure as governor. Our population has grown, and we have every right to be able to do new districts. Now, we don't have our primaries aren't even till they're more than a year away. So this will probably be something that we'll work with the legislature on in the spring. And be able to deliver, I think, really strong maps.
What do you think? Maybe Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis versus Newsom 2.0? I like the idea.
I do, too. I'll tell you what. Maybe we add the lieutenant governors, too, because Jay Collins, who I appointed today, Sean, I refer to him as the Chuck Norris of Florida politics. This guy was a Green Beret for 23 years. He gets wounded in action, gets a Purple Heart, loses his leg, and then instead of just retiring, he serves 5 more years as a Green Beret with a prosthetic leg. Then he becomes a great conservative state senator. And when I rescued people from Israel, authorized those flights during the Iran war, Jay was on the
Yeah.
ground in Israel and in Jordan, personally rescuing people. So he's a conservative hero and he's an American hero. And I would love to have that joint debate. Florida is the only state in the country
I like
where
it.
both the governor and the lieutenant governor are military veterans.
Jay, you up for that? It sounds like you are.
Yeah. Sean, I think that's a great idea. Let's get that down. And, you know, while we're at it, why don't we see if Newsom really wants to maybe choke up on the bat, aim for some singles rather than aiming for the fences? He's going after President Trump. What he needs to do is worry about his own state. Number one in outmigration, number one in illegal immigration. His economy is in the tank. The state's law enforcement is fleeing to states like Florida. And where are we? Under Governor Ron DeSantis, we are number one in new economy, economic growth, number one in education, number one in net migration. It's incredible. Absolutely. Let's have this debate. Let's do this thing and get it done.
All right, congratulations, Lieutenant Governor. Good to see you, Governor DeSantis. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.